Hello, hi CA Foundation aspirants. From the month that we're watching this video in to the month in which you'll write your examination, what's there in between is the month of May, which is not going to be just a month of May to you all, but it's a month wherein you must study to crack your CA Foundation examination in the month of June. I am CA Rajavardhan from Mishas Academy, and in this video I am going to help you all as to how to plan and execute your next 86 to 90 days that's left before your CA Foundation examination. Let me start with the biggest mistake that all of us do as students when we plan our examination. We count as to number of days available. That's about 86 days. We divide it by number of papers that we have. That is 4. And then we arrive at some number and then we allocate so many days to each subject. That is the biggest blunder. The reason being, each subject has different amount of weightage. Subject like accounts might take more time. Subject like BCK or economics might take considerably less time. Subject like BCR might take even lesser time, but law might take altogether extra time because you are new to that paper and you've not touched any of it during your 11th and 12th standard or your intermediate level. So we cannot divide the total available days by number of subjects to arrive at it. And sometimes you might be of a case where you are of a very strong commerce background wherein you might need very less time for accounts. You might in fact need more time for mathematics. Or someone from science stream might not need as much time for subject of mathematics and quantitative aptitude, but might need lot more time than an usual commerce student for the subjects of accounts and economics. So the needs of each student is different. The needs of each subject is different. So there can't be a common subject timetable that I can share with you. There can't be a common timetable which can be applicable for all the sorts of students. There can't be common time allocated to each subject. So this is the challenge that we have whenever we plan our timetable. That is the main reason why we need to organize a very scientific and appropriate timetable, because once the timetable is done, half the job is done. What is left after that is only execution of the timetable, and which will make our life very simple. So I am going to tell you what is the exact way in which you can modulate your timetable so that executing the timetable will be really fun and you have no chance of missing out clearing exam which happens in the month of June. So why waste time? Come on, let's get started. So here we go. So this is the sheet that I made, wherein what I want you to do is I've put two papers or two sheets in this Excel sheet. The link to this sheet will be shared to you all in the description of this video. In the first sheet, I've put in names of all the subjects with chapters and with units in detail. So if you take accounts for that matter, I've given all the chapters with subunits, and then law with chapters and subunits, and including BCR, your maths subjects and subunits, economics and PCK subjects, chapter names with unit wise details as well. So what I totally believe is in that you need to do minimum of one comprehensive study and then two revisions, wherein you can actually plan three or further revisions, but two revisions though is bare minimum that thing that is basically required. And if you plan this way, you need to plan not just for first completion, first reading of the subject, should also plan for the first revision as well as the second revision of the subject. So how to go about and then plan the first revision, second revision and comprehensive reading. All you need to do is, this timetable is not something that will happen in the span of 2 minutes, because what can be made in 2 minutes can be broken in 2 minutes. I hear a lot of complaints from students saying, sir, I made timetable but it didn't work. See, your timetable is drafted in 30 minutes, so your timetable will fail in 1 hour or max to max 1 or 2 days. Timetable is something that you should spend a lot of time in making. In fact, it isn't really a false statement if I tell the right timetable needs 3 to 4 hours for you to prepare. And then if you prepare a 3 to 4 hour timetable, or you spend an entire day on making this timetable, for the rest of the 90 days, you are not going to fail this timetable at any point of time, because considerable effort, time, as well as a thought on is gone into making this timetable, which makes it flawless, which makes it considering all the possible things that's going to happen in 90 days, and executing it becomes very very smooth. So what you need to do in this timetable is, you can definitely take print of this particular sheet what I've shared with you all, and whatever material you read from, if you read from us, then definitely you can take your class notes out, you can keep your research material wide open and then see each chapter. For instance, starting with the first chapter, theoretical framework, See as to how much I made you write in the entire material. You written about 40 pages, 45 pages. Think about your reading speed. How much time will you take to read one page? Okay, let's say you will take about 2 minutes to read each page. It's about 40 pages. You need 80 minutes. Considering your off time, on time, concentration, mood, focus, you will say you would need 3 hours to do this chapter. So you need to write your comprehensive reading chapter 1 3 hours. And if you read something in 3 hours, you should be definitely revising it in less than 50% of the time. So you would keep 50% of the time or maybe 40% of the time for first revision, and second revision you should take about 20% of the time for revision. So here you will write 40% or 30%, and second revision you will write about 20%. So you plan it out. Let's say you will write 3 hours for first reading, 1 hour for first revision, and half an hour for second revision. So that's the amount of time that will take for chapter 1 theoretical frame. Similarly, go down to fill for accounting process unit wise. When I say journal, again, open your class notes, see how many pages you written, see how many questions are there, see what sort of questions should you be solving, what sort of questions can be skipped. Once you do that, you think of a number. Okay, fine, this many questions are there, these many I can only see through, these many I would have to solve, this I might find tricky, for this I would have to read theory, this I might not get, this I might have to do 2 times. So thinking all of it, fix a number, say that okay, journal will take 4 hours, and then first revision will be about like 1.5 hour, and then the second revision will be about 1 hour. So similarly, try and fill in the time that you would think you would need for comprehensive reading, first revision and second revision. Let me repeat this once again. Whenever you do this, don't randomly think of a number. Keep the material that you read from in your regular class open, glance through the pages, think of it, keep an estimate, keep a comparative as to how many pages you can study in each hour, or how much time was it taken in the class to finish the topic, and then allocate the time. When you're done with the entire accounts, then total the total amount of time that you would need for comprehensive reading, first revision and second revision for the accounts paper. Then you will take up your law, whatever material you read from the class. If you read from the ma'am's material, whoever taught you, or if you have read from ICA material, or if you read from some scanner, whatever material you read from, please take that material, go through it chapter wise, unit wise, think about it as to how much of it do you remember, how much of it do you not remember. Some people might find chapter 1 difficult, some people might find chapter 2 difficult, maybe because you missed chapter 1 classes, you fell sick at that point of time, or you were not concentrating then. So it is different for different people. Don't try to copy your friends hours for this. So understand as to how much time you might need for comprehensive reading, first reading and first revision and second revision, and write it down. If you don't know, just take a mock exercise, pick one unit which is of 5 pages in your material, sit and read, time it out, see how much time you took to read those 5 pages. Based upon that, you decide as to how much time you would actually need for comprehensive reading, first revision, second revision. Allocate it for the entire syllabus of law and PCR. Total it. Do a similar exercise with mathematics. Considering the fact that mathematics, economics, and BCK is going to be MCQ, choose wisely as to how many MCQs are there, how much time would you need to solve. MCQs may you might have done some classifications. These are must solve MCQs. These are easy ones. These are the ones which I can ignore. You might have already done such classification. If not, you should do. Once you do that, how many MCQs should you solve? How much is the possible time that you would take for each MCQ to solve? So into so many MCQs. So this much amount of time I would need for ratio proportion chapter. This much time I would need for equation chapter. So you allocate the time for first reading, first revision and second revision, and then put in those hours in mathematics. It might so happen that there are some topics which you feel like revising 2 times is not sufficient, or revising 2 times is too much, only one revision is sufficient. It can happen because during my study times as a student, it so happened that I used to read entire syllabus, one comprehensive reading, one revision after that comprehensive reading, and the revision before the exam and exam. That's how my pattern used to be: one comprehensive reading, one revision, and the day before the exam revision and exam. That's what worked for me. But the same was not the case who studied with me in the library wherein I was studying only. So I had few friends who used to finish off reading once and then do 3 revisions and then read it the day before exam and then write the exam. It is not that they were right or I am right. Whatever works for them. They used to do newspaper kind of reading. Like they liked reading it several times. But I didn't like reading it several times. I used to take 12 days to finish the subject. They used to finish it off in 5 days. They understood a lot of things in the second go. I wanted to understand and then only proceed. There is no one right, no one wrong. It's difference in mindset and difference in the approach. What works for me works for me. If I try to imitate what the other person did, might not work for me. And if he tries to imitate what worked for me, it might not work for him or her. So all I'm trying to tell you is you are free to add one more column and then add a third revision if you believe that you are someone who don't get things in the first go and you would want multiple revisions. Or if you say like, sir, I'm a very smart person, then you stick with two revisions. Two is minimum. You can't reduce it less than two. But if you want, make it more than two also. Got that? So similarly, fill up the number of hours that you would need for mathematics as well as PCK. I've written it unit wise. All you need to do is take the print and then fill in those hours. And when you do this, please do it in pencil. And now you got total hours that you need for comprehensive reading, first revision and second revision subject wise. Total them. So you would arrive at some number of hours. Let us say you arrived at some number of hours. Maybe let's say you arrived at some like 450 hours. 450 hours. Once you arrive at the number as to 450 hours is the time required. So this is the resource required. Now we need to see how much is the resource available. This is not the end of timetable. This is step one of timetable. So once the step one is done, we should see if you have so much of resource available with us. Then you will come to time availability. This is page number 2 in the same Excel sheet that is shared with you. You can take a printout of this sheet also. It will come to 3 sides or 4 sides. So in this I put 3 columns. First column is days left for the examination, 84 days left. And then one more I put date column, second one I put day column. Considering the fact that your university examinations are still not over, remember to go through each day, see your timetable, what days do you have college, what days do you have semester exams, what days are you attending 3 mock tests conducted by SS Academy, what days are you attending our marathon revision that will be conducted by SS Academy face to face. So all these dates, what day do you have your cousin's wedding, what day do you have your uncle's marriage, what day is your auntie doing housewarming ceremony, what day is Ramanavami, what day is Ramzan, what day is every other festival that you will celebrate. You please take a note of all of these dates. And once you take this down, for example, let us say 7th of April, you are not free on that date. It's your birthday and that day you are not studying. So please do mark here on this day 0 hours or happy birthday to yourself. Write it. Or let us say some other day you're doing something. So mark those dates as the dates that you can't study. Identify the days where you can't study because of any reason, semester exam, BCom college, write them down. Then each day, now let's say till 10th of April, you have your BCom exams happening. You can't study. So your timetable starts only from 11th April. Or your BCom exam happens till 10th April, but in between some days you'll study for CA Foundation. Right in between, what day you can't study, what day you can study. And once you write that down, now Saturday, 1st of April, how many hours can I study? Think, half a day you have college, rest half of the day you're there. In that half of the day, you would have to eat, you would have to sleep, you would have to bathe, you would have to talk to relatives, you would have to talk to friends, everything. After doing all that, you'll write 5 hours. So on the day when you have college, you can study for 5 hours. The day you don't have college, you can study for 8 hours. It's now you people have this question, sir, how many hours should I study? For which I won't answer, but you would have to find the answer. So you'll write 5 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, someday 1 hour, someday 0 hours. Write everything. Write everything. And in this sheet, I've already filled certain dates that you can't study on that date. That is your mock exam day. 24th of April, 26th, 28th, and what do you say? Our 30th is the days on which first mock test will be conducted at SS Academy, free for all the aspirants writing CA Foundation examination. So these days you would not be able to study because the mock exam will happen 2 to 5. Morning till 2 o'clock you'll study for that mock exam, come and write that mock exam now. So you will ignore these 4 days. Similarly, we have second mock exam happening on 14th of May, 16th of May, 18th of May and 20th of May. So again 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock on respective branches, Jayanagar and Sheshadipura. So I marked these dates also, days not to be studied. Days you can't study for the timetable. You will only study for that mock exam and then write it. And once 5 o'clock exam gets over, by the time you reach home, you'll be done. So it should be practical. Don't randomly put you study 23 hours in a day, full motivated because you saw 2 motivational videos. It won't work like that. Think practical and then put it. And in the month of June, we have third mock test happening conducted by SS Academy. So those dates also have marked. And in the month of May, about before this 10th of May, 2 days there will be marathon revision of accounts happening. So those 2 days also, you just mark them saying that these 2 days you don't put anything on your timetable. So the days are not yet fixed. We'll definitely let you know what are the 2 days on which free marathon revision for CA foundation principles and practice of accounting will be conducted. So those full days, 2 days, you keep it aside. Those 2 days also you don't allocate. And in between, mark your days of not availability and then write number of days you can study. So you should write it till 23rd of June. That is basically one day before your exam. Let us say last 3 days, let's keep it for your what to say accounts exam preparation. So remove those last 3 days also. Don't write anything for 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Till 20th of June, till 20th of June, you please do write the hours. Take the total hours. So once you write all the hours, take your calculator and then do the total hours. Let's say the total hours comes to 350. Your calculator, how many hours are available? 350 hours. So we call this resource allocation. So the resources required is what we computed first. Resources available is what we computed now. Key factor here is time. So 350 hours is available with us and 450 hours is what we need as per our plan. So time that we have, time that we want is not matching. This is the motivating factor. A lot of them tell no that they make the timetable but they're not able to fulfill the timetable because this is missing in that. They in the amount of time available they'll put in the subject. Now when you do this, the moment you finish this, you have a panic attack. Oh my god, sir, I don't have the time that I want. I want 450 hours. I have only 300 hours. I am 150 hours shortage. So when you already know that you are behind time, you would not waste any time further. Like the rocket flies when its ass is on fire. No? Exactly. You need to put fire below your ass. Till then you wouldn't fly. So all you need to do is tell yourself or remind, not just telling, make yourself understand that you don't have too much time. Even a week before when I entered the class, when I told about only 90 days left for the exam, some people are, oh, 90 days. It is not 90 days. It's only 90 days left. Only 90 days. You feel like 90 days is too much. But when you put in the time that you need for every topic and then check with the time that you have, that's when you realize the time that you have is not too much. So now what you need to do is either increase the time available or decrease the time required. Two ways. One, come back here. The days where you put you'll study only 5 hours. Check if you can study 6 hours or 7 hours on that day. The day you are marked no studying today, it is my uncle's wedding. Check if that uncle is so very important. Should you attend that wedding? Check if you have written friend's birthday celebration 3 days. You mark no study. Is that friend so important more than your CA foundation examination? Plan it out and then try to add in extra time and then increase this 350 hours to 400 or 450. Check how can you do that. Next, come back here. If that is also not possible, here for certain topic, maybe let's say one simple topic, goods sent on return or approval. I myself put a video, it's there on the YouTube channel where you're watching this. That video itself is 1.5 hour. Full topic discussion with all the 11 questions that is there in our material, we've discussed in 1.5 hour. Let us say for that chapter you put first reading 5 hours, first revision 2 hours, second revision 1 hour. That is not possible, so you'd have to cut down the time in that. So see as to where can you cut down the time, redevise it and try to crash the time required and time available and bring it to a point where time required and time available will match. Time required and time available will match. It will come to a point where you will reduce this. You will reduce this 450 hours to let's say 400 hours. And then here time available also will reduce it to 400 hours. Now finally it's matching. Now is when your timetable preparation will start. Sir, if we're going to start timetable preparation now, till now what we did is Ganapati Pujana. Yes, what we did till now is preliminary analysis of the resource available and resource required. From now what we start is the preparation of timetable. Now, a lot of them have this question. Sir, should I do one subject in a day? Should I do two subjects in a day? There is no thumb rule. You can do one subject or you can do two subjects. Going back to my study times, I was a student who wanted to read only one subject a day because I didn't want my mind to get diverted. I was someone who used to read comprehensively in one go. I wanted everything to get connected. So I used to read one subject. 10 days, only one subject. Fully done, then I used to start one more subject. There were friends of mine who used to read one subject in the morning 6 to 7, one more subject from 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock, not complete it 5 hours. Little in that time, excluding breaks. and then post lunch one more subject, and in the evening one more subject. They used to study four subjects a day. So it is completely your choice. You can study one, you can study two. But my personal suggestion, don't study more than two subjects. One is okay, two is good. Don't study more than two. Don't study three subjects, four subjects a day, please. That's too much. That is too much of channel changing for the brain. For high efficiency, two is good. If you think you can't study two, one is okay. One is okay. One is not good. One won't work for everyone. One won't for work for everyone. People can't stay focused with one subject for quite long. So you can do two subjects a day. Now when you do two subjects a day, now you take each day, and then now let's say in this day, April 1st, you have written 6 hours available. So you want to do economics, or you want to do law, or you want to do accounts. So your faculty would have told you what order you should do the chapters. I am not subject expert when it comes to mathematics, economics, law, BCR, PCK. So I won't comment on that. You would have heard faculty saying what order we should do the chapters. So in that order, start allocating. First day, this subject, this chapter one, this unit will get over. First day, you have 6 hours available. Maybe economics may first chapter you selected and then you given 2 hours. 2 hours may get over. Remaining 4 hours, you allocate law or you allocate accounts. You do that. So go on matching that way. So when you do that, you take good 3-4 hours to do this. When you're done, you have plan from 1st of April till 24th of June, each day what hour, what topic is to be read. And this will give lot of peace of mind to you. Because let me tell you what you might have all be facing as a student. But this is not something that usually express it to anyone. I know this because I've gone through this myself being a student. You start studying accounts. When you're studying accounts, back of your mind knows something is bothering. When will I read this economics chapter? Then when you're reading economics, back of your mind is law dancing. When will I read law? When you're reading law, back of your mind is quantitative aptitude dancing. When will I read this? So when you with something, you are afraid that you are not doing something else also. When will you do that? That fear is there. That fear will snatch away the present from your hands, which will not let you concentrate on the subject that you're reading at this moment. So what should you do to overcome this? This timetable. When you do this, assume that 1st of April 2023, I am reading accounts. Let's say the chapter of cash book or trial balance. I know I've allocated time for consignment. I know I've allocated time for revision. I know I've allocated time for economics, maths, everything. Every subject, every unit has time. And I should only concentrate on this subject, this unit for today. Peace. And now you people say, sir, I start timetable, I study for first 2 days, third day onwards I somehow miss the timetable. That is because your timetable is not till day zero, is not till the exam day. You just randomly write 8 days accounts. 8 days accounts, if you say 8 days may 10 chapters. First day if you don't study, you will still say it's okay, 7 days may I'll finish. Now you can't do that because if you don't study something on 1st of April, 1st of April subject will be remaining as backlog. You can't study the start 2nd of April. The reason is 2nd of April you already allocated some topic. So if you miss out on one day, you are scared that you will never get time to read it. So you need to know that this much has to be done in this much time only. If you know that you can do this in some other time, that's when you people start feeling overconfident and then skip the target. So bigger targets are to be broken into smaller targets. Like 100% syllabus should be broken into daily targets. Daily targets should be broken into hourly targets. Hourly targets should be broken into minutes targets. For example, if I'm doing one chapter on 1st of April 2023, let us say I've allocated 4 hours for that chapter. I've thoughtfully put in 4 hours. Now I start with that chapter. I'll see 13 questions are there. 4 hours. So if there are 13 questions and then 4 hours, first 30 minutes I'll take to do theory. So in 3.5 hours, I should do 13 questions. So in 3.5 hours, I should do 13. By the end of 2 hours, I should be done with 7 questions. Or should be done with 6 questions. At the end of 2 hours, if I should be done with 6 questions. At the end of 1 hour, I should be done with 3 questions. If at the end of 1 hour I should be done with 3 questions, at the end of 20 minutes, first question should be done. If not, then I am already behind schedule. And if I have to finish one question in 20 minutes, I should start now. If I don't start now, I will not finish in 20 minutes. So then the way you study, the way you value each minute will be very different. None of you professional students are lazy. We're all under a wrong notion. We're all not aware of the reality. We are skipping, running away from the reality, and we're in our own Disneyland. We're in our own fairy world where we actually don't know the reality. And reality doesn't come slowly. Reality come really harsh and then slap us on face and then run away. And then all we have to do is cry and then wait for next attempt of examination. Let us not do that. Let this be your eye opener, and let this be something that will make you plan each day till your examination. So I hope you'll implement this. Please do download this Excel sheet, what is there in the description to this video, and take a print. First, write it in the pencil, erase it, and then do write in the right data and then implement. And trust me, if we can do this way, if I ask you what did you study on 24th of April at 11 a.m. in the morning, you'll be able to tell. If I ask you what did you study on 3rd of May at 10 in the night, you'll be able to tell. So you will be able to tell me what did you study on each day at each hour. When you can track your time so wisely, there is no question of time being wasted. There is no question of unproductivity, laziness, or any sort of negativity which will pull you back from the dreams that you're trying to pursue. This is what I wanted to share in this video. I hope this video was insightful, thoughtful, and an eye-opener to you all for preparing for your examination. Please do share as to how productive was this, and please do tell us if you would want us to do more videos like this helping you in the examination by way of comments to this video, and that will help us come out with a lot more to help you. So remember, life is not a battle to be struggling, it's a game to be enjoyed. Till the time you guys are learning something, you're having fun, it's all good. The day you guys either stop learning something or stop having fun, trust me, you might start struggling because you might be in a. So the thumb rule to stay happy is pretty simple. It is to stay in the game. So for one last time on this day, I have just one simple question for all of you. Are we in the game? I hope you're all in the game. See you all at mock test and also at face-to-face marathon revision at Tisha's Academy. Till then, tata, bye-bye, take care and get lost.